no niggers in me. What are you? You understand? Respect your fucking car. Huh? What is this? Look at me! Look at
me! The story begins in 1926 on a cotton plantation where many black laborers worked tirelessly, including a small family, the Gaines family. That afternoon turned into a nightmare when the arrogant son of the plantation owner arrived. Without hesitation, he dragged Cecil Gaines's mother into the barn. Cecil's father, witnessing the horror, restrained himself and tried to comfort little Cecil. In a low voice, he explained that this was a white man's world, and black people like them had no right to fight back or defend themselves. When the plantation owner's son emerged from the barn, Cecil's father called out to him and gave him a furious, disdainful look. That glare offended the young man. Without hesitation, he pulled out his gun and shot Cecil's father dead, right before the boy's eyes. The plantation owner's grandmother, hearing the gunshot, rushed out and ordered the workers to bury the body. Feeling pity for the young boy, she decided to take Cecil in, care for him, educate him, and train him to become a house servant. Inside the main house, Cecil began learning the strict code of conduct required to be a perfect servant. The elderly woman taught him everything: how to serve meals, how to place glasses and plates without making a sound, even how to control his breathing so it couldn't be heard by the masters. Cecil grew up and worked there for years. One day, Cecil decided to leave in search of a better life. He said goodbye to his mother, who had lost her sanity since the tragic assault. Although it broke his heart to leave her behind in the care of fellow workers, Cecil believed it was the right choice. The old woman who had raised him wept. She had come to see Cecil as her own grandson. For the first time in his life, Cecil stepped beyond the plantation. On his journey to the city, he witnessed horrific scenes of racism, white men killing black people on the streets without consequence, while the law turned a blind eye. In the city, driven by hunger, Cecil stole some food. Fortunately, the shop's head servant who caught him was a kind man. Instead of punishing Cecil, he treated his wounds and offered him a job as a trainee servant. There, Cecil learned new skills and discipline.
See what it is. Anticipate. Gotta look through the eyes. Got it?
Strokes, yeah. I got it. Right this way.
Bring a smile. Perfect. Perfect. Principal.
One day, the head servant received a prestigious job offer to work at a luxury 5-star hotel in Washington. He felt too old to travel, then he sent Cecil in his place. Before Cecil left, he gave him a vital piece of advice. A butler must have two faces, the real one and the one he shows when serving white folks. But never lose your real face, no matter what. In 1957, Cecil began working at the hotel. Years passed, and he became a sharp, respected butler, well-liked by white guests. He had also married a woman named Gloria, and they had 2 sons, Louis and Charlie. Life in Washington was completely different. Though his salary wasn't large, Cecil managed his money wisely. He bought a home, a car, and sent his sons to good schools. One morning, while spending time with his family, Cecil received a phone call from the head butler of the White House. His face lit up with joy. He had been invited for an interview. At the White House, the head butler explained that Cecil had gained a strong reputation among important guests who had visited the hotel. Because of that, he was being offered the honor of serving as a butler to the President of the United States. Overwhelmed with pride, Cecil immediately accepted. The next morning, his first day began. The head butler briefed him on the strict code of service, to focus only on serving, never to look or listen to the matters discussed in the room. Nervously, Cecil prepared and served tea to President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Don't be nervous, man.
Lord help us.
If this is just beginning, like the fella said,
Federal troops to the block.
And federal troops to the south.
Inside, the president and his advisors were discussing the escalating racial crisis in Arkansas. Cecil stood silently, obeying the rules, pretending neither to see nor hear a thing. Years later, when his eldest son Louis graduated from high school, the family accompanied him to the bus stop as he left for college. There, Lewis met a young woman named Carol, who introduced him to a secret discussion group of activists planning protests and sit-ins demanding equal rights for Black Americans. As Cecil continued his duties at the White House, Vice President Richard Nixon visited the Butlers one day. He was running for president and asked for their support, urging them to help persuade the Black community, promising to improve their lives if he won. Meanwhile, Lewis joined his first protest, a sit-in at a whites-only cafe. Refusing to move to the colored section, he demanded equality.
We would like to be served, please.
Establishment, make them go. This is not for you. You can have people sit.
Now, y'all know you're not supposed to sit there. Do as you're told and sit in your place.
Come on, Robert, let's go.
With pocket change and the local phone numbers for ambulance.
Get up, monkey. Get up here. Like spoons here?
What are you doing here?
Read notice. No niggers can read. What are you? Do you understand? That kid must be hard. Huh? Look at me! Look at
me! Watching the event on the news, Cecil rushed to the jail where Lewis was held. Furious and heartbroken, he scolded his son. He had worked so hard to give Lewis a good life, yet his son chose to protest. Gloria, feeling neglected because of Cecil's long working hours, began drinking heavily. In 1961, John F. Kennedy became president after defeating Nixon.
Jesse, it's a good thing you're here because I'm going to forget.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President.
I'm not going to remember any of your names, but I'm going to answer around here.
Wednesday. Got it. Pleased to meet you, Miss Carolyn. Miles.
A month later, Lewis was released from jail. But as he and his fellow activists traveled by bus, they were ambushed by the Ku Klux Klan, who set their bus on fire. Even though they were the victims, the police arrested and jailed them again, this time for 3 months. As years of protests continued, President Kennedy grew weary. One afternoon, when Cecil entered his office, Kennedy confessed he knew about Lewis and admired his courage. Lewis had been imprisoned 16 times and was now jailed alongside Martin Luther King Jr. Cecil apologized for his son's actions, but the president stopped him, saying the activists weren't troublemakers, they were heroes changing the hearts of the nation and his own. The next day, Kennedy made history by initiating a revolution for racial equality. But before he could fully realize it, he was assassinated, shot by a mysterious sniper during a motorcade.
Restaurants that no American in 1963 seems to me to be an elementary right. A great change is at hand, and constructive for all. Our obligation, our inviting shame, as well as violence.
The entire nation, especially the Black community, was shattered. In the White House kitchen, Cecil broke down in tears. When he entered the president's office, he found the First Lady sobbing uncontrollably, still in shock after witnessing her husband's death. Back home, Cecil delivered the tragic news. Gloria was heartbroken, but also frustrated that their family had fallen apart because of his endless work. As he straightened the tie Kennedy had once given him, Cecil realized how much he had neglected his family. From that night forward, Cecil and Gloria vowed to change. Cecil spent more time at home, and Gloria quit drinking. Years passed, and a new president took office, Lyndon B. Johnson. One day, while tidying the Oval Office, Johnson handed Cecil a small pin, an award for being the best presidential butler. That night, during a small celebration with friends, they discussed how Johnson's administration had failed to continue Kennedy's dream. The government brutally cracked down on peaceful protesters, an event later known as Bloody Sunday. Soon after, Cecil gathered his courage and visited White House Chief of Staff Warner to request equal pay for black staff. After 20 years of service without a raise, he believed it was time. Warner dismissed him arrogantly, saying Cecil should be grateful to even have a job, and threatened to fire him if he complained again. Days later, Lewis finally returned home after a long absence. During dinner, tensions rose as Lewis's rude remarks pushed Cecil's patience to the edge. The confrontation exploded, leaving deep emotional scars.
Get the hell out of my house!
No, I can't see this boy. Weasel, no.
I can't take this no more.
No,
I didn't mean to make fun of you.
Everybody just sit
I'm
down.
sorry, Mr. Butler. Get on out! You're a hero.
Get out of this house.
In 1969, Richard Nixon became president. Despite his earlier promises to help the black community, but nothing changed. Meanwhile, Cecil's younger son, Charlie, joined the military to fight in Vietnam, hoping to serve his country. Lewis strongly opposed the idea, fearing his brother would die for a false cause, but Charlie refused to back down. Months later, during Cecil's surprise birthday party, 2 U.S. soldiers arrived with devastating news: Charlie had been killed in action. The celebration turned into mourning. At the funeral, everyone attended except Lewis. As years passed, Nixon's administration collapsed under the pressure of the Vietnam War. Stressed and drunk, Nixon once asked Cecil whether he had failed as president. Cecil remained silent. His disappointment spoke louder than words. Later, Lewis visited to tell his father he had graduated from college, but Cecil, still hurt by the past, ordered him to leave, saying, "A man who didn't come to his brother's funeral doesn't deserve to be called family." Time moved on. The White House saw president after president, until 1986, when Ronald Reagan took office. During his first year, Reagan asked Cecil to deliver a private message to Chief of Staff Warner. When Cecil arrived, Warner insulted him again. So Cecil smiled and handed over the note, revealing that Warner was being fired for withholding the rights of black staff. Shortly after, all black employees at the White House received long overdue pay raises. Weeks later, the First Lady, impressed by Cecil's loyalty, invited him and Gloria to a gala, not as servants, but as honored guests. That night, surrounded by luxury, Cecil felt strangely empty. Back home, he looked at photos of Lewis and realized how much of his life he had missed. Cecil told President Reagan he wanted to retire. Shocked but respectful, Reagan agreed. One day, Lewis was leading a protest demanding Nelson Mandela's release when he saw his father arriving. "Why are you here, Dad?" he asked. Cecil replied, "I want to march with my son." Lewis warned him he could be arrested, but Cecil simply said, "I've already lost you once."
I'm sorry.
After spending time in jail himself, Cecil finally understood protest wasn't chaos. It was unity, a collective voice for change. 22 years later, both Cecil and Gloria had grown old. Lewis was now married with a daughter. One morning, Cecil returned from the bathroom to find his beloved wife had passed away peacefully. In 2008, Lewis was looking through family photos when his father called out excitedly. On the TV, an emotional Cecil watched history unfold. Barack Obama had just been elected as the first black president of the United States.
Barack Obama, all things are possible if the dream of our founders, the power of our democracy. We still wonder.
In 2009, after Obama's inauguration, Cecil was invited back to the White House to share his story of serving 7 presidents. Before leaving, he adjusted his tie, the one given to him by Kennedy, and pinned his medal to his chest. When he arrived, a young staff member offered to guide him, but Cecil smiled and said proudly, "I know my way around this place." The film ends there, with the journey of a man who served in silence, witnessing the transformation of a nation. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more videos.